Cheers. Richard, can you
Cheers.
please act like you're on television? Act like you understand what screen time means. Why can we only see half of your face? What's wrong with the other half?
I see all of my face.
Richard,
We
we only
see half.
see you were like this.
Really?
Yeah, there you
Well,
go,
see,
right there.
no, but I'm
Stay
saying
right
no. I'm not even trying to be funny. Like on my screen, it shows up. Like I see everything.
Dead
there. I
people?
know.
My bad. My bad. I'll center up. Obviously.
What's going on, guys?
How we doing?
Welcome to another
Uh,
episode of Road Trippin. I'm Channing Frye with Allie Clifton and Richard Allen Jefferson. We are here 8 games into the season. Richard Jefferson, what's the biggest surprise so far?
The biggest surprise for me so far, of all the things,
Give me 2.
okay, I'm gonna say this: the Bucks defense thus far, and again, that's nerdy basketball stuff. Like I'm surprised they're that bad. I'm not. There's zero chance that I'm blaming all of that on Dame. There's other things that are going on. They're changing things or tweaking things. The second one, I don't think there's been that many surprises. I truly don't. I think this far in, like Memphis is probably doing a little bit worse than we expected, but no one's like crazy surprised that they're 1-4 or 1-5. No one's crazy surprised. Houston's playing good. Detroit's competing. Orlando's competing. Like the first 5-10 games, everybody's got a chance. So it's like I don't think that there's been anything that we're like, yo, I'll say one. How about this? I'm surprised at Dallas. That Dallas has been, what are they? 5? They were 5-1. That's
6
like
and
it's
1.
6-1, 6-1. Yeah, they Dallas. That has been surprising. I think that's the biggest question mark that like people are like, oh, okay. And the reason why, Derek Lively. I give him 100%,
1,000%.
100% credit. The opportunities that he presented, the hands that he has, the finishes, the defense, the running, the IQ, all of those things, when you can interject, not even a rookie, he is their starting center. I think right now he's probably a top 20 center in this league. A
Yeah.
top 20 center in this league. And I'm being serious, probably even higher if you talk about who you would want this season. I would want him possibly over a Clint Capella. Right now, Clint,
Yeah.
I've said possibly. I said by the end of the season, you might say it's a toss-up for
Right.
this guy being 19 years old and not real. And you're like, holy shit, this dude he started the second half of the first game. They're like, he outplayed Wemby in the first game. Like,
Wemby
yes,
was also
he is
in
the
foul
reason.
trouble.
But that's part about playing someone. That's part about playing someone is staying out of foul trouble. They're both rookies. They're both in their first game. My point is this: because they were able to get a top 20 center. Now imagine if the Warriors had done that with Wiseman. Imagine if the Warriors had done that with Kuminga, right? Like it's very rare to get a guy that's an impact player right away. That's a starter. Like here, bro. Like we're gonna give you all of these minutes. That has been, as a player, that's been the biggest surprise to me.
Channing, what about your surprises?
Honestly, not that I thought he would be worse, but I'm actually kind of happy that like Joel Embiid is like, yo, y'all forgot I'm MVP, and he's out there dogging the NBA right now. Like, it's wild. Now, obviously, he's a free throw hunter, right, which is just part of his game, but still, like 46 in 3 quarters, and then I think and obviously we have friends on the staff. He's like, man, Nick Nurse is on his ass and he's responding to it. Like, he was like, I don't know if anyone has ever truly challenged this version of Joel Embiid to be great every single night. Like everyone was like, well, take this game off or take that game off. Where Nick Nurse is like, no, fuck this team up and you get tomorrow off. You fuck that team, I'll give you 48 hours off. Like things like that. But then also, I had no hope in the Philadelphia 76ers without James Harden. And now I'm like, hey, they going to be kind of like Tyrese Maxey taking that much of a jump is wild. So I would say overall the 76ers. And then another team, another person, and it's crazy early. It is crazy early. But Porzingis, right? I saw the list of the top 25 players in the NBA so far. Porzingis is like 15 based on like defensive rating, win shares, Like the Celtics have 4 dudes in the top 25, which is crazy. And the 4th dude is number 2, which is Jason Tatum. And then down is Porzingis, and then Jaylen Brown. And then 23, 24 is Drew Holiday, which is bananas.
Let me ask you this. Where are you with the Minnesota Timberwolves? Any surprise? They're 4-2. They've handed Denver a loss. They handed Boston their first loss.
Don't fall for that.
Pretender?
Do not fall for that. And here's why I want to get to Richards, Milwaukee. Big men that are only in a drop in ice get murdered in the playoffs. They do great during the regular season. They get destroyed in the playoffs. So to me, it shows a lot about the Milwaukee Bucks that they don't want to change anything up. They're like, we're going to be in a drop in ice. It's going to work during the regular season because Brooke only wants to do it this way. And at the end of the day, you need to be uncomfortable the first 25 games so that if you needed to go to something else in the playoffs, you were able to do that because you've had success. To only do one thing one way to win games now in November is to me bullshit.
You can't give people steady diets. Not great players. Not great. You can't give great players steady diets because they know what they look. They get to get to their spots. They get to pick their shots. You have to keep great players guessing. And to Channing's point, he's right. Like he was up in coverage, and when you don't have an up in coverage means that you're not like in the paint waiting for the player to come. You're at the point of attack where the screen happens. But the problem is that if that guard breaks that point of attack, there's 2 people behind him, and then it's just nightmare. And so Brooke, when we did his game, he was up in coverage and he only had like 2 or 3 blocks. And I'm not saying he was that the full time, but only 2 or 3 blocks. Against the Knicks, they put him back in coverage and he was able to get all of those blocks. I think he got 7 blocks. His activity went great. Like block shots energize guys. It's like a big dunk. You want to keep doing them. And so they reverted back to him being in that drop coverage, which is great. But ultimately, to Channing's point, like if you're just doing that steady, it's going to be.
What happened the next?
It's great in the regular season. It's great in the regular season.
The Knicks are the Knicks, right? The Knicks are not a team that make adjustments, and they also go, whatever we do it harder, right? They are very solid in who they are as a team, and either works or it doesn't, and they don't change, right? To me, for Minnesota and Brook Lopez and Gobert, other than the shooting, defensively are the same, right? In the playoffs, if you are playing Boston, are you switching Jason Tatum on the Brook Lopez? Who's funneling Jason Tatum to Brook Lopez? Like, it don't work like that because then Porzingis just backs out and shoots a 3. So for me, I want to see the Milwaukee Bucks be a little bit uncomfortable now so that they can be unstoppable later. That's just me.
What's your prediction of the Sixers-Celtics matchup tonight?
I bet you the Sixers do a lot of zone.
Celtics just lost, so they're both coming. It's a back-to-back. That's a shitty game.
You don't
No.
I mean,
Joel didn't play in the fourth, and Boston had an overtime game. So it's like, that's where people, when you get into the season series, and they're like, Philly beat them, 3 times. And it's like, yeah, look at those wins. When were they? Who played? Who was rested? Right. Like, what's the schedule? Like, even Philly was in Philly and they play in Boston. You got to go from Minnesota all the way back to Boston. So that's another couple hours, right? There's another couple hours by the time you get in bed. So those guys are going to be working on 3 hours less rest, in my opinion, and an overtime game. Like, I'm not saying that Philly, they can't win. I'm not saying that, but that's where these things get a little bit dicey.
Steph Curry makes you believe you can do anything, and the Curry 11s are specifically designed with ultimate bounce, grip, and stability to allow everyone to do their thing. New generations of ball players are coming up and showing the basketball world that the old rules do not apply. The future is exciting, fast, positive, and hungry. This NBA season, rock with your favorite player and rep his shoes on and off the court. The Curry 11s are perfect for both the committed and casual ballers. The UA Warp Tech makes the shoe feel like it was designed for your feet, locked in, no matter what you do on the court. Stop in your tracks with dual density UA flow cushioning and traction. It's an emergency brake you don't even notice. Steph's 11th signature shoe steps into the second decade of his sneaker career, pulling colorway inspiration from the wonders of a positive and modernized future on and off the court. Take these kicks with you when you leave the scrimmage and rep Under Armour wherever you go. So do your thing. Change the game. The Curry 11 Future Curry is available now at currybrand.com. Okay, Channing, you mentioned the Knicks. Obviously, you did that game, Bucks-Knicks on Friday, Richard. What are you guys making of New York right now?
They win.
Richard?
It's hard to watch. And I'm a Knick. Dude, I want them to be good. They are hard to watch. It's just like...
Are they on the same page?
Yeah. You get it, your turn. You get it. RJ Barrett's not even there. Imagine when RJ Barrett...
No. He played last game. He wasn't there in the Knicks game. He was there. He was there last game. He balled out. No. But... No, I think I don't think that they have a system, but they're not a cohesive unit. And I think when you see Mitchell Robinson's trainer, don't ever do that. If you're a parent, don't ever do that. There have been players in this league like, and we're not just talking about like Lonzo Ball. No. There's been other players like we saw Marvin Bagley and De'Aaron Fox dads getting in on it on Twitter. If you are a parent, a trainer, a brother, a sister, a high school coach, do not get involved in this business. It will not go well for your client ever. That's why you don't see agents tweeting that, because they know it's bad business. It's bad business. And so to see Mitchell Robinson's trainer posting that stuff, to see, obviously Julius Randle looks frustrated or disinterested. He played outstanding last night, but he's struggling to get off to a start. And Brunson, the first couple years, the honeymoon's over. We know he's a great player, and we know that this guy is most likely going to be an all-star, potential all-star, probably the best player on his team, but Julius Randle's still the most important, in my opinion. And look, couple games. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Most important, like the best player is.
I don't think.
I think
who's the most Mitchell important Robinson guy? Is the most important guy.
No, but Mitchell Robinson's going to do all of those things. He's going to do all of those things, whether he gets a lob dunk or not. He's pretty constant.
Mitchell Robinson is off the court. They have the number 2 rated defense in the league when he is playing basketball. If he is not there he's a gigantic PJ Tucker. He's just out there for cardio, rebounds, and blocks. He's not even getting a look at the rim. If he was not out there, you have Julius Randle at your 5. We've seen Julius be extremely de-interested with basketball if he just has to be a defender for a quarter or a half. It's just not who he is. It's not who that team is.
Okay. So who's their best? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying Mitchell Robinson. He's got very similar to Derek Lively. How that dude? I don't think people fully understand that takes them from a C+ team to like a B- to a B- team, and that's a big difference in this league, especially coming from a draft pick that you weren't expecting. And like I'm saying, draft pick from the standpoint of like, imagine we're gonna go back. What about the tanking that they did to get him? Wow, those guys are looking like geniuses. Remember they set everybody and they got fined? Those boys are looking like geniuses right now, but that's a whole nother story. No, okay, my point is that Brunson's your best player. Right? Brunson's your most consistent, whatever. Julius Randle
is your most talented player.
No, but if he has a good game, if he plays well, like Mitchell Robinson can play well, have a great game. It helps the Knicks, but it's not the deciding factor in the Knicks. It's not the deciding factor. Right. I think if Brunson's consistent and Julius Randle plays a very good game, right, then I think the Knicks become more problematic, like they did with the Knicks, or what they did with the Cavs, in my opinion. So the only thing I'm saying is this. He's the best. Julius Randle's the most important. They've got to get him engaged. He balled out last night. They won the game last night.
Yeah.
And so my thing with Brunson is this. The more I watch them, the more I think that he needs to create more for those guys. He needs to be like, he can get his shot off. He's so shifty. Last year, he averaged a career high 6 assists. Shifty. It's like a combination of shifty, and shitty, right? But I just think his assist numbers are down. When I looked before last game, he was ranked 50th in assists. Now, if that's your point, yes. So no. So my point is this: is Brunson more of a Kyrie, where he's more of a scorer and more of a I'll get you a shot, blah blah blah, but that's not his thing. Is he more of a Kyrie or is he more of a point guard? Is he, because we've seen John Wall go 20 and 10. We've seen who else go 20? Chris Paul be a 20 and 10 guy. We've
De'Aaron
seen
Fox.
20 and 10 De'Aaron Fox. We've seen, I don't know if Fox is quite at 10, but he's at a high number of assists. My point is that he's got to find a way, if they're going to give him the ball and let him be ball dominant, he's got to get open shots for his guys, right? And if you're starting point guard that has the ball in his hands a whole lot, is 50th in assists, you got to kind of look at that and be like, hey, maybe we need you to score 24 instead of 28 and get these other guys involved one or two more times. That might be the formula for success for that team versus him averaging 27.
Is that Tibbs or is that him? That if you look at Tibbs' teams, I feel like he is very singular about who has the green light and where we're going to rely and who doesn't, right? He's like, be aggressive, but don't be more aggressive than him because these two dudes are going to get 48 shots a night.
Well, it's not fair, but Tibbs has also never been to an NBA Finals. So, like, I can't say I'm going to sit here as a head coach, which is what we're basing him on. So, yeah, he's had some injuries, he's had some things. Like, I'm not. It's not all on the coach, but no different than we hold Doc Rivers to the standard in some of his playoff failings and some of the mistakes that he has made in the postseason. Similarly, we're not saying Doc Rivers is not a great coach. Doc Rivers is a Hall of Fame coach. Doc Rivers, if he's coaching your team, you're going to be very good in the regular season, and then it's kind of like we'll see in the postseason. Same with Tibbs. Tibbs is very good in the regular season, multi-time coach of the year. So that's the only thing I'm saying is that, like, that might be Tibbs, it might be this, but at the end of the day, your starting point guard can't be 50th in assists.
True. Or you got to have a crazy big man that's
you better have Jokic. You better have Jokic. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you
can't
this,
have three
because obviously we
thirsties.
know that Knicks fans are very tough. Having said that, are you concerned with, you use the word disengaged possibly with Julius Randle? Obviously there was that clip after that Bucks game where he was visibly upset about a possession down the stretch. You've got guys weighing in from overseas when it comes to moments like that throughout the course of a game. Are you concerned with the level of interest?
No. Did you send Channing that? Did you send Channing that too, or were you just trying to mess with my day?
No, I sent that to you guys.
Oh, you sent the Decker thing?
Yeah. Where'd you see that, Allie?
Were you just trying to fuck up my day, Rich?
No, I don't remember. I don't. No, you sent that to me. I knew you sent it to me.
This is the thing. When you put it on Twitter, it can be sent, received, however it may, or find its way to do.
No. My point is. Oh, okay. Everyone, take a step back. Recently, on some group chat somewhere, there was a statement when Julius Randle didn't run back, and Sam Decker, he was like, "Oh, there's guys busting their butts and this and to try and get in this league." One, let me address that is very true, right? There's a level of respect for the game that I think everyone should stand for. I don't question that. I think it's unfair of him to say that from a standpoint of Julius Randle is not the reason why you're not in the league. This was not a bench guy. This guy is an all NBA player. He was a top 15 player in the league. You don't look at that guy and say he's taking up one of the spots. That's disrespectful. Yeah. That's disrespectful to say that to a multi-time all NBA. Now, he was disrespectful to the game. Obviously, there's some visible emotions, and we could see that with players across the league. But my big thing is this. You don't cherry pick that guy at a tough moment and say, there's guys working their butts off. We know that, bro. Everyone knows that. But he's not the reason why you're not in the league. Now, if you're watching one of the bottom teams like Houston last year and you saw a guy not give any effort that is a 13th man on the Houston Rockets, that's a guy that you shoot a shot at. Like, there's guys over there that would kill for this opportunity, even in garbage time, to even get back to the league. That's who you go at. You don't go at a multi-time all-NBA player. That's unfair. Right. That to me, that's unfair. And I got respect for him. There's no shade here. This is just my opinion on what he said. No, nothing but respect. But that one, because I know the guys that are grinding. We had Jason Gardner. We had our guys that grinded their whole time just waiting for a shot. So I understand where that emotions comes, but you can't direct it at a guy that ain't taking up. That's his spot for the next decade. He ain't the one to be like, oh, see, these guys are wasting opportunities. No. He was having a bad moment and picked a bad spot to have it. But let's not cherry pick that.
Yeah. I'll say this, and this is just being 100% blunt. I don't like watching Julius Randle play bad basketball, right? When he plays bad basketball, to me, it irks me so much. And here's why. Number one, I played with him and have seen him play really good. When he plays really good, it is amazing to see that 6'9", 270-pound human.
It's almost like he's the most important. It's almost like he's the most important player on their team.
Almost. When he plays good, unselfish basketball, it is great for me to report. It is great to watch. When he starts going into what I call little piggy mode, where he just trying to shoot and eat and do whatever, and you know it. Hey, he's not even looking at the score. He's not looking at nothing. He's going into straight Jordan Poole mode, where he goes, I'm getting this shot up.
Buckle up. Buckle up.
Buckle up, bitches.
Shout out my guy Kmart.
But look, his body language, I played with Braun 3 years. I don't really, body language comes and goes, right? But bad shooting.
But it's funny. It's funny though.
Right at him.
No, but it's funny though, because like he said it respectfully. He said it in a team meeting before. Like, guys, I'm sorry. You guys know I get emotional. I'm still working on that. And that's all we want to hear. And he's also a guy that has apologized at dinner. Like, guys, I'm sorry I got upset, man. And like, you see, he's so visibly like he loves his team. He's one of those guys, but he's an emotional guy. Like, there's no, that you're not stripping that away from him. And so you don't fault anybody, especially when they're self-aware. Right, especially when they're self-aware, and sometimes, like when you see Chalmers or when you see people, you see little chirps back. It's like, all right, motherfucker, we like Channing yells at people about guacamole. Yeah, Chan's in his hands in the guacamole. So it's like he's not like that's where like back to Channing's point about like people being, body language going up and down.
I'm glad that us fucking with your day just turned into that. All right, guys, who are your sleeper picks for the week? A player that you think has the capabilities of going off and to score more than his sleeper app predictions. Give me one.
Oh, it's tough. I would have picked
Cam Thomas. What the fuck?
Way to go out on a limb, bro.
Hey, listen.
That take was about as hot as breast milk, bro.
Dude.
Oh, was it hot? Have you guys ever tasted your wife's breast milk?
No. Channing's lying. He's put in his coffee before. I know.
No, I don't even
drink coffee. We had a full conversation on set about that the other day. Some people do.
You know what?
Yeah.
Who you're going with Cam Thomas?
Yeah, because you understand his numbers, Channing, are super high. So he's got to go over probably 23 right now, 22 a night to go over his numbers.
Easy. This dude, talk about blinders. Yo, he is a NASCAR driver. Left turns only. No assist. No rebounds, give him the ball, and he going to get you a bucket. When he gets the ball, either add 2 or 3. That's it every single time.
Okay, that's who you're really going with?
Yeah, that's what I'm going with. It's because we talked about him 2 weeks ago.
Fair.
Like, can he do this consistently? And it's like 45, 33, 39, 32, 28, 25. And the Nets are winning. So they're like, well,
I'm going to turn that in.
I got mine.
Into a truth or trash. Cam Tom, I'm gonna turn that. So Rich, go first.
Okay. Channing's gonna be mad about this one. Michael Porter Jr.
He's gonna do
no
what?
Jamal Murray. He's going to get above his number. No Jamal Murray. Right now, Michael Porter Jr. is staring up at the ceiling like, I'm going to shoot all the balls. I'm going to shoot all of them. I'm going to shoot. Michael Porter Jr. is like, hey, wait, no Jamal? I'm shooting all the balls. And he don't care if he misses first 5. I'm shooting all the balls. And rightfully so.
Who is thirstier? Richard, question. Who is thirstier out of these 3 people? Michael Porter Jr. or 4? I'll go 5. Michael Porter Jr., Cam Thomas, Julius Randle, Zach LaVine, or Jordan Poole?
Okay, thirstiest?
The thirstiest. Like I
No,
don't
thirstiest.
see anything.
I would say Jordan Poole.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you my order. Number one would be Jordan Poole because he's already won, he's already got his money, and he's just like, I'm gonna see what kind of bullshit I can be on, right? I'm gonna see what type of absurd shots I can shoot, and they're not like it's the Wizards. They're not planned to win shit. They've given him free reign, whatever. So he's won. Cam Thomas is next thirsty because he's like, this is my chance to eat. I am going to eat everything. And that, like, all the years he's been sitting on the bench being like, I could score better, he's out there to prove it. So that's number two. Number three, I would say Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. And the reason why he's number three is because he is the third best player on this team. So he gets third amount of shots. Some nights it could be fourth if Aaron Gordon's hooping or somebody else. So now he gets to be like, yes, I get to move up. Zach LaVine is a scorer. That's what he does. He's an established scorer. He's been an all-star as a scorer. So it's like
not
him
one
going
assist,
and scoring.
you get 45
Nah,
points.
but that's fair. But him going and doing that, that's like Kyrie. Like that's just what they do. He wakes up and scores. He's like, I didn't know you were open. I jumped 38 inches in the air on my jumper. I didn't see anybody or even a hand to contest.
Yeah.
And then last is Julius Randle because I think Julius Randle, we both know when he's cooking, will pass the ball. He's an assist guy. Like he gets out on the perimeter, he does everything. And damn, I'm good. I just broke that shit down from 1 to 5 for y'all. I don't think y'all appreciate the level of. I'm talking to the audience.
Oh, we do.
Appreciate the level of shit.
We're going to put a bow on it. Road Trippin Sleeper Pick of the Week. They're sponsored by Sleeper Fantasy. Download the Sleeper app and use the promo code Road Trippin for a deposit match for up to $100. Terms and conditions apply. Do you feel confident and great about his breakdown there, Channing?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Let's finish off this segment with a truth or trap. Use your words, Allie.
Wow.
Truth or trash.
Wow. Talk much? Wow.
As of right now, Nets guard Cam Thomas is the NBA's most improved player. Truth or trash?
Right now, yes. Right now, yes. Right now, yes. At this point in time in the season, 100% most improved. Not even a question. Not like when you go from averaging
Tyrese Maxey, stop it. No, Tyrese
not
Maxey.
Not most improved. And
no, he's on the number 2 team right now. Tyrese Maxey didn't even start last year, and he's averaging.
You didn't even know Cam Thomas's name last year, bro. Like they were holding a max spot. They're holding a max spot. And they didn't give Maxey an extension, and a lot of people were like, Maxey could be that max extension they need to see. They didn't want to give that to him or take up all of that salary cap, giving him 75% of that max slot that they have. They didn't know, so they're like, we're going to keep 2 slots. That's why I'm just saying he's considered to be a max player. That's not most improved.
Yes, he is averaging 25.5 points, 50, 40, 90, right? With 4.5 rebounds and 7 assists. So that whatever he was last year, he won that.
You're right. I'll give it to that. No, hear me out. This is why you're gonna give it right. Because how many points a game did Cam Thomas average last year? Since you're on your interweb.
Fuck you.
So much love.
Do you want to know how to spell his name?
No, it's right here. I see him. Last year he averaged 10.5.
And what is he averaging now?
None of your business.
None, yeah. How many is he averaging?
29. Okay, he's averaging 28. No, he's averaging 28. Well, 28.7. So 29 on 30. No. He's shooting 48, 33 with 4 rebounds and 2 assists.
No. Look, Maxey is the better player. There's no question about that. And the jump that Maxey is making.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. And they did it when they give it to
is a little different.
Yeah, well when they give it to Brandon Ingram, right? And it's like they said that they should rename the award to the lottery pick that improved to an all-star. That's what it is. So Cam Thomas, he might be able to sneak it in there. But it's like more often to like John Morant. John Morant got most improved over Desmond Bane. People didn't know Desmond Bane's name. Respectfully, I say that. Like he was like not a household name. John Morant was. He was the number 2 pick. He was doing all of these things. And yes, he did make a big jump. But it's like ultimately Desmond Bane turned into a fucking legit player that year and probably made the biggest talent, whatever jump. So that's what Cam Thomas is doing. There's other guys that do it, but most of the time these things go to top 10 picks that are good and then make a big jump in their third year. My biggest issue is that's what the fuck they're supposed to do. It's what they're supposed to do. It's what they're supposed to do. Don't give me a 2 pick that turns into an all-star and says, oh, he made the biggest jump. No, why'd you draft him number 2?
We're going to shut down this episode. And on the other side, I'm going to get into more truth or trash with you guys. Also, can we have a segment of Allie's head in the gutter on this edition? And then also NIL deals for high school students. I need your thoughts after this.